All right, let's go check on the greenhouse and the garden. Just wanted to show y'all on our little small half-acre, some of our daily routine. The kids have been in here. Can you tell? Anyhow, I've got this sad looking basil that was in the house that got way too dry. It's okay though. I have more over here that's growing. So it's not a big deal. And got some parsley coming up. Our sun gold cherry tomatoes are coming up. They're doing great, y'all. Look at that. Less than a week they've been planted and they are just growing like little weeds. So we've got some ground cherries coming up here. If y'all ever want to grow ground cherries, a lot of people think it's really difficult to grow them, but ground cherries like hot temperatures. And when you plant them as seeds, you plant them very shallow and just kind of dust over the top. Just sprinkle just a little dirt. You don't want to put them deep at all. And then you cannot let them dry out. Like the soil has to be constantly moist to get it to germinate. So that's the trick to those. We've got some peppers coming up. California Wonder, which are bell peppers. And we have our Jimmy Nordello sweet peppers. They're coming up. We have a little surprise in here. Focus. Look at that. That little pepper's coming up already. Oh yeah, look at that. I have not been out here today, so these have come up overnight, which is great. And old wives' tale in Alabama, especially, that when you're starting your seeds and everything and they just won't germinate, seems like nothing's coming up. Well, they say that if it thunders in January, you'll have frost like a month later. Well, in my experience, if it thunders in January, go on and plant the seeds, because when the seeds, for some reason, thunder and lightning, they love it, they'll pop right up. And we had just that last night. All night long, thunder, lightning, rain, and they're up. These guys, I'm probably going to have to transplant some of these on Saturday because they're getting their first set of true leaves. This is a true leaf. These are just what comes up when they're, baby seedlings like this. This is like the seedling leaf. And then this is a true leaf. This is starting to get their true leaves. True leaves. True leaves. So some of these I'll probably have to transplant. And I think I might be stuck in the greenhouse for a minute. This is temp in here right now, about 65. I've had the door open for the last 4 days. It's been pretty warm in central Alabama. So no, it does not have to be stifling hot to get things to germinate. Seeds will germinate when they feel that they're ready. Now after they germinate and they start popping up and you've got little seedlings, if you have freezing cold weather and you cannot keep your greenhouse warm, you're going to have to bring all of your plants inside, because a frost or a freeze will kill them. Like, for example, I'm going to have to probably bring all these in if they are not big enough, because I don't have a heater to put out here. So all of these will be stacked in the living room some sort of way, which is kind of sad because we live in a single wide mobile home. It's going to be really crowded, but it'll keep our plants alive. And we are going to have a plant sale this spring, hopefully at the end of March or first couple of weeks in April. All right, rain's slowing down. I'll come out here and take a look at everything. My sad little onion seedlings that I don't think that this variety does great down here. So they didn't really do anything. Seed tray has water in there. So they've not been dried out. They're just not doing great. And then we have some lettuce. This is Black Simpson, planted on 119. This is our Grand Rapids, also planted on 119. I am going to transplant these into the actual garden, so these won't stay in these little pots. These are just starts. So now we come out here, we've got our white onions, we have our red onions in this row, And then we have a few garlic planted in this row. So this will stay the same all summer until it's time to harvest. This row, we're going to plant some lettuces that are over there that I just showed you. We'll plant them here. And then, you know, by the time it gets warm enough to direct sow the rest of the garden and start transplanting things, the lettuce will come up, because, you know, in Alabama, lettuce just is not going to last through June and July. So those will be coming out and something else be planted in there. And then the kids took the time to plant some bulbs in this planter. Just stuck them in there with some extras that we didn't think were gonna grow because they were kind of moldy and squishy. But look at this, y'all. Ain't God great? They are growing. What we thought were rotten onion starts are growing. And they taste delicious. You can just pluck the tops right off of these onions. These are red onions. And just eat them like chives. So good. Delicious. Good for you. Homegrown. Everything that we're growing this year is organic. We have stopped using the Sevin Dust. I do still have Sevin Dust in here that are unopened in the greenhouse, just to keep it out of the weather. But that Sevin Dust is something we used 2 years ago, and so is the Miracle-Gro. We no longer use this stuff. We are completely organic now. We don't use any kind of chemical or pesticides on our stuff. This is another unopened bag of Sevin Dust. Look how old that is, y'all. We didn't use it. So when I have my plant sale this coming spring, I'll be giving this stuff away. Like, I'm not even going to charge people for it, because I'm not giving the makers of these products any more of my money, and I'm not going to make people pay for them because I chose to buy it back when I didn't know better. But the makers of these products, do some digging. Monsanto Corporation, Bill Gates, all that stuff. Look into it. Learn where your food comes from. Like I said, everything that we're doing is organic. Here's some of the start that I use. Just compost and manure here. And then we have some all natural organic Kellogg Organics raised bed potting mix. And it's like more of a mulch type mixture. And that's what I use to mix in here. And it breaks down as the seedlings are growing. And then we have compost that we started a couple of years ago down here. And we stopped doing it because we have chickens. So then we would come out here at night in the summertime, kids would be playing around in the front yard. We noticed that we had little mice coming out here. So we stopped making compost in this area. But this compost right here is what we made. Look at that, y'all. Delicious. That is just some sexy dirt right there. Just black soil. You can see we've got some eggs in here for calcium. We've got just, look, pumpkin seed. Pumpkins. There's also all kinds of worms down in here. It's just, you know, loose, rich soil. And of course, you know, crap blown in from the street and the neighbor's yard, and this is actually mine. That's another tip that I'm going to give y'all for another day. So stay tuned on how to garden frugally. That will be another episode. But anyway, thanks for watching. God bless y'all.